Today we're going to listen to Michael Saylor explain why Bitcoin is the most valuable asset out there, even more valuable than gold. First of all, you can't manipulate Bitcoin as much. And second of all, very importantly, is that you can actually move Bitcoin around to countries all over. And that's why it's also so much better, not just than gold, but also than investing in property. Because property, you can't just move your property to Mexico. You can't just move it around. With Bitcoin, with crypto, you can move it around freely. And the government can seize your Bitcoins if you have them securely stored in a cold wallet. If it's secured on exchanges, of course, there's loopholes. However, if you got it in a cold wallet, that's your property, and the government can't do nothing about it. So yeah, let's listen to Michael Saylor explain.
Okay, so what's Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is the strongest asset the human race has ever invented. It's like gold with none of the defects of gold.
So define what the defects are. Why is it the greatest monetary invention?
So I buy $1 million of gold. Okay, if the price goes up, the gold miners, first of all, the gold miners are going to create more gold and dump it on the market. If I could eliminate all gold mining forever, if I could wave a magic wand and make it impossible to mine any more gold, my $1 million of gold will hold its value better because it'll be scarce. But gold miners are inflating the value of the supply of gold by at least 2% a year or so. And then if the price doubles again, investors will invest in more gold miners and they'll create more capacity to mine gold. So you'll create capacity to mine gold, you'll mine the gold, you'll crank up the rate at which the gold mines function. After that, people with gold jewelry will melt their jewelry down, convert it to gold bullion and sell it, right? If the price of gold went up by a factor of 20, you would be like converting all your gold stuff into gold bullion because it seems like a good idea. They call it scrap gold, right? And then after that, bankers will issue gold warrants and gold paper and gold derivatives, and they'll sell them short without the gold because they can speculate in it, and they don't have to have a one-for-one coverage of gold to the gold derivatives.
So basically what he's saying is just that gold can be manipulated, and it will be manipulated in a lot of ways. Bitcoin will not.
And so that's called hypothecation and rehypothecation. Okay, if it keeps going up, the governments holding gold will start to sell some of their gold to manipulate the price down, right? And all of these, and ultimately, if it goes up enough, someone will club you over the head and take your gold, or a hostile regime will take your gold, or a politician will pass a law taxing your gold, right? There's a lot of ways you lose gold because it's physical. How do you cure the problem, right? I mean, here's how you cure the problem. You make it impossible to mine any more gold, and then you make it possible to take custody of your gold personally off of the exchange or off of the bank. So that way the bank can't hypothecate it or rehypothecate it. Miners can't inflate it. Investors can't create any more gold miners. And then you make it possible to move it from here to Switzerland or Singapore in an hour for a nickel. And that way, if you don't like your bank or don't trust your bank, if the state of New York passes a law taxing it, you move it to the state of Wyoming. You know, if the government passes a law taxing, you know, the ownership of land in California, you can't move the land out of California, can you? If you have $1 million of gold in a bank and in a vault in New York City, you know, there's only a couple of places you can move it. You can move it to London if you have 6 months. Okay, so you're going to be subject to the law of London or the law of New York. Can you actually move to your favorite island, or, you know, can you move to the Cayman Islands and bury your gold underneath your hut in the Cayman Islands and be safe about it?
And obviously the point is that it's important that you actually have the power to choose what to do with your money. And the reality today is just that you don't. If you live in the US and you want to move somewhere else, maybe even to Europe, you'd be surprised about how difficult it is to get your money with you. It's very difficult. If you had crypto, easy. One transaction away. And that's why it's so important, or why it's so exciting to see this crypto revolution maybe even happening.
not likely. Can't even get it through the airport, right? So the problem with other properties, and gold is the simplest example, but the problem, the challenge or the analogy holds with any property. I give you a bunch of money and I tell you you want to keep it and give it to your grandchild. Do you buy a building in Manhattan? Do you buy a ranch in California? Do you buy a stack of gold bars? Do you buy shares in a company headquartered in San Francisco? Do you buy bonds issued by a government or a company? Or do you buy Bitcoin? And you can see the problem, of course, is the debt is devaluing rapidly. The land in California can be taxed and is not movable. You know, the building in New York is not going anywhere. It might be valuable to a rich person that lives in New York. What about a rich person that lives in Beijing? Do they want your building in New York? How are you going to hide your building, right? Buildings get property taxed.
So basically what he's saying is that there's only so many things you can invest your money into. And Bitcoin just seems to outperform every single thing you can invest in on every level. Maybe there's the one thing we don't know just how stable it is yet. It's only been here for 11 years. So we have an idea that it's quite stable and it seems to have great potential. However, gold has been here for longer and stocks have been here for way longer and buildings, property have obviously been here for way longer. However, on every other aspect, Bitcoin just outperforms. And that's why Michael Saylor says to invest so much into Bitcoin. And it's a great time to invest into Bitcoin. Just today, it's down. Bitcoin is down. Let's see, what did I do? Just today, Bitcoin is down 4%, and over the last 3 months, it's down 31%, 32%. So, great time to buy. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't don't invest because I'm saying it. You have to do your own research. Figure out the taxes. Taxes are very important before you get into crypto. Understand the taxes. It's pretty simple, but it's very important that you understand it. And if you deem it's the right thing to invest, go for it. That's today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow.